The slap echoed louder than the music. For a second, even the violinist stopped playing. 200 guests, crystal chandeliers, cameras flashing, and my brother's bride, Amanda Collins, had just slapped me across the face in the middle of her wedding reception. My cheek burned, but it wasn't the pain that froze me. It was the silence, the kind of silence that feels like judgment. I stood there in my navy blue dress, humiliated, staring at the woman who was about to become my sister-in-law. And I waited for my brother, Daniel, to step forward to say, "What are you doing?" to defend me the way big brothers do. Instead, he grabbed my arm, pulled me aside, and whispered through clenched teeth, "You ruined everything. Just leave." That moment didn't start at the wedding. It started 6 months earlier, the day Daniel introduced Amanda to the family. She was beautiful in a polished way, perfect hair, perfect smile, perfect posture, but her eyes were calculating. I noticed the way she subtly corrected Daniel in conversations, the way she interrupted him mid-sentence, the way she spoke about our future assets after only 3 months of dating. I work in corporate law. I see patterns for a living. I recognize control when I see it. During dinner one night, I casually asked if they were signing a prenup. Amanda laughed too loudly. "Why would we need that? Daniel trusts me." Daniel squeezed her hand like a loyal puppy. I didn't push, but later that week, I pulled him aside at his office. I remember standing by the glass windows overlooking the city skyline and saying quietly, "I'm not against her. I'm just asking you to protect yourself. A prenup doesn't mean you expect divorce. It means you value what you built." He got defensive immediately. "You always think the worst of people, Sarah." That was the first crack between us 3 weeks before the wedding. He called me late at night. His voice was tired. "Amanda's upset. She thinks you're trying to sabotage us." I sat at my kitchen table, staring at the cold coffee in my mug. "Daniel, I'm trying to protect you." He sighed. "She says if I sign a prenup, it proves I don't love her." There it was, emotional leverage. I told him calmly, "Love doesn't demand financial surrender." He went quiet. 2 days later, he texted me, "We're signing one. Happy?" I wasn't happy. I was relieved. But Amanda never forgave me for it. At the wedding reception, the argument started small. I was standing near the champagne tower when Amanda approached me with that practiced smile. "I hope you're satisfied," she said softly. "Daniel told me you insisted on that awful contract." I replied evenly, "It protects both of you." She leaned closer. "You don't want him happy." I shook my head. "I want him safe." That's when her composure cracked. She raised her voice deliberately so nearby guests could hear. "You've always been jealous of our relationship." Before I could respond, her hand struck my face. Gasps filled the ballroom. Cameras turned, and Daniel chose her. "Why would you provoke her?" he demanded. "Can you just not do this today?" I felt something inside me break. Not from the slap, from the betrayal. I walked out alone. No dramatic speech. No tears in front of the crowd. In the parking lot, I finally let myself cry. Not because she hit me, but because my brother believed her over me. The next morning, social media was filled with curated wedding photos, cropped angles, forced smiles. No one posted the slap. My mother called me, whispering, "Maybe you should apologize to keep peace." I realized then that peace in our family always meant my silence. 3 months passed. I buried myself in work. Long hours at the firm, new cases, new clients. One afternoon during a strategy meeting, my phone vibrated repeatedly. 10 missed calls from Daniel. One text, "Please call me. It's urgent." I stepped into the hallway and returned the call. His voice was shaking. "She filed for separation." My stomach dropped. "Already?" I asked quietly. "She says I'm emotionally unavailable," he muttered. Then he said the sentence that changed everything. Her lawyer mentioned the prenup. She didn't realize how strict it was. I closed my eyes. "What happened?" He exhaled sharply. "She thought she'd get half the company's shares. The contract limits her to personal assets acquired during marriage." There was silence. Then he broke down crying. "Sarah, I think she only married me for security." Over the next few weeks, the truth unraveled. Amanda had been quietly meeting with a financial advisor even before the wedding, asking about asset transfers. She had pushed Daniel to merge certain investments under joint ownership, but the prenup blocked it. When she realized she couldn't access his business holdings or family property, her behavior changed. The separation filing was swift, cold, strategic. but ineffective. The prenup held firm. In court, her argument that she signed under emotional pressure didn't stand. The judge upheld the agreement. She walked away with far less than she expected. One evening, Daniel came to my apartment. He looked smaller, somehow humbled. He stood awkwardly in my doorway and whispered, "I'm sorry, I didn't rush to hug him. I let him sit in the discomfort." "Why didn't you defend me?" I asked calmly. He stared at the floor. "Because choosing her felt easier than questioning her. That honesty hurt more than lies." "You weren't wrong about her," he admitted. "I was afraid to see it." We talked for hours about manipulation, about pride, about how love can blind intelligent people. But this isn't just a revenge story about a failed marriage. My revenge wasn't public humiliation. It wasn't gossip. It wasn't celebrating her downfall. My revenge was quiet foresight. It was protecting my brother even when he pushed me away. It was refusing to shrink when I was slapped in front of 200 witnesses. Amanda tried to embarrass me publicly. Life corrected her privately. Months later, at a small family dinner, Daniel raised a toast. "To my sister," he said, voice steady, "the only person who loved me enough to risk my anger." The room was silent. No one mentioned the wedding anymore, but everyone remembered. The slap that was meant to humiliate me became the moment that revealed the truth. I didn't win because she lost. I won because I stayed firm in what I knew was right. Sometimes revenge isn't destruction, it's protection. Sometimes the strongest move isn't fighting back, it's standing still while the truth exposes itself. She slapped me at her wedding. My brother said I ruined everything. 3 months later, he realized I saved it.